Who is to blame for everything that has transpired with the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson? There is some accountability to put on Russell Wilson, right? I mean, that first year with the Broncos, he goes 4-11. Like, it was a horrible year. He had career worst in touchdowns, percentage of completions, passer rating. It just wasn't great for him overall, and it wasn't great for Nathaniel Hackett either, which they pretty much tried to scapegoat and try to say he was to blame for everything. But I put a lot of blame more on the actual organization of the Denver Broncos. Big kudos to the Seahawks. They pulled one of the best heist jobs you could possibly pull in broad daylight against the Broncos in this trade deal that they had. Yeah, the Broncos got Russell Wilson, veteran quarterback, winning quarterback. I understand it, but you got an older quarterback for 5 years, $245 million guaranteed. There's nothing you could kind of grow off of that with your cap space. But the Seahawks said, cool, give us the 5 draft picks. We'll do something with that. Which, if you're the Broncos, you could have used those draft picks if that was the case, if you really wanted this quarterback. You pretty much get this Russell Wilson with nothing in it. Like, there was nothing to help contribute to what he was also going to be able to bring. So the Broncos organization and front office, to me, most of the blame is on them. And it makes it even worse that they sat there and got robbed in that trade, but also you get Sean Payton, which is a great coach, but it was clear that Sean Payton didn't want Russell Wilson as his quarterback. That was abundantly clear from the minute he took the job, where he made certain statements saying, hey, we're not doing all that outside stuff, outside trainers, all those things that's done, which was always reported that Russell Wilson always had his outside trainers with him in the facilities at all times. And Sean Payton was like, we're not doing none of that. I'm not catering to you. He made that very clear from the beginning. Russell Wilson, to me, handled it the best that he could. I mean, they didn't start the season off great, but then they really found momentum in the end. And even when people would ask him about the relationship with him and Sean Payton, he always said great things, because Russell Wilson is a pro's pro. He's not trying to get up there and have all this animosity and all this battle with his coach in front of the media. But to me, Sean Payton made it abundantly clear throughout the season, especially the end, where he's kind of yelling at Russell Wilson on the sideline. They're having these heated exchanges. We all know that it just didn't look like he wanted him to be the guy. And to add more fuel to the fire, not only do they sit there and not even pat Russell Wilson on the back or the Denver Broncos team by saying, man, y'all really turned this around and got some wins. This is good. We're in the right direction. They said, actually, Russ, can you take that injury guarantee out your contract? Because if you don't, we're going to bench you for the rest of the season. Which, might I add, is actually illegal. So let's get this all clear. You have Russell Wilson that goes into a situation with no assets because they went ahead and traded it all just to get him. They have a 5-year, $245 million guaranteed contract, which is the second largest guaranteed contract at the time, right next to Deshaun Watson. You get the older veteran quarterback who you believe can really turn this monumental franchise around. Things are horrible in the first season. He gets all the blame. Then you get Sean Payton, who makes it also clear that he actually doesn't really want Russell Wilson as his quarterback. The Broncos turn everything around, and in that, they also tell Russell Wilson, well, the reward you get for that is we need you to take the injury guarantee out your contract, or if you don't, we are benching you. And anyone thought that this was going to turn into the best favor for Russell Wilson. And I have to add, you have to really not like someone. I'm talking about you harbor real ill feelings and detest a person. If you're like, we would rather release you and have $85 million in dead cap space than try to work this relationship out. We're talking about the largest dead cap in league history. They're like, nah, we'd rather get hit. Also, remember, they still owe him $39 million from that contract in the start of 2024. After they give him that $39 million, then they can kind of wash their hands clean of this entire thing. But the $85 million in dead cap is still there. Don't let Russell Wilson getting released make you think that he is not a starter in the NFL. Don't even let that narrative get in your brain. Russell Wilson is a guaranteed starter in the NFL. It's just going to take the right team, and a right team that really sees the value in what he can add to a team. But that team also needs to be structured into helping him. Again, they gave him a ship with holes already in it when he got to the Broncos. He needs a ship that's already kind of sailing, where he can add benefit and value to that ship that they're looking for other things. That's what all this has to come down to for Russell Wilson. So yeah, I don't put all the blame on him for this entire situation with the Broncos. To me, this is really just the Broncos organization, franchise, front office, coaches that really kind of made this thing not already a shoe-in win for Russell Wilson anyway.